The news now on BBC One with Moira Stewart. It's 1 o'clock.
Good afternoon. Police in Japan have launched a massive security operation after the leader of the cult, linked to last month's gas attack on the Tokyo underground, said a terrible disaster was about to strike the city. Dozens of buildings owned by the cult have been raided, and security checks have been introduced throughout the capital.
Japanese police say this is the largest peacetime security operation they've ever launched. 100,000 officers, more than a third of the nation's entire force, raided 130 buildings belonging to the Supreme Truth cult. They took in birds to check for gas, taking no risks after last month's gas attack on the Tokyo subway, in which 11 people died. At cult headquarters, there were scuffles as police seized 53 children, some of them still wearing headbands wired with electrodes said to adjust their brainwaves to the cult leaders. The children were bused to local nurseries. "We'll go to hell," angry parents who are cult members yelled. The reason for this unprecedented action, claims by cult members that their leader has predicted a disaster tomorrow that will make the Kobe earthquake seem as minor as a fly landing on one's cheek. Leader Shoko Asahara remains in hiding, still denying involvement in the gas attack, but his apocalyptic prediction is being taken extremely seriously by the police. In Tokyo, there are spot security checks at the underground and on main roads into the city, and businessmen in an increasingly nervous capital have closed 2 shopping malls for the weekend. Margaret Gilmore, BBC News.
The Japanese government has unveiled an emergency economic package aimed at stopping the rise of the yen. It includes a cut in interest rates, taking them down to just 1%. Japan's currency has gained almost 20% this year, and its strength is threatening to derail the country's fragile economy.
It took Japan's Prime Minister most of the night to cajole the unruly members of his coalition into agreeing an emergency package of reforms. This is an unapologetic attempt to buck the market, which so far this year has added almost a fifth to the cost of producing goods in Japan for export.
In addition to stopping the appreciation of the yen, this will relieve worries about the future of the economy.
In Parliament, demands for action have grown, while outside, rare public admissions of economic pain are being made by senior industrial figures.
This is extremely damaging to our industry, especially in the export sector.
Public works like the rebuilding of Kobe will be allocated more public money under terms of today's package. Industrial deregulation will be stepped up, and the Bank of Japan has cut the discount rate to 1%, its lowest ever level. Judged by its own standards, this emergency package has so far failed. Its only purpose is to sap the strength of the yen, yet on the money markets here, the value of the Japanese currency is barely changed. Peter Morgan, BBC News, in Tokyo.
Police in Northern Ireland believe an arms cache found near Belfast yesterday is linked to Loyalist paramilitaries. A number of handguns and metalworking equipment, which could have been used to make weapons, were found at a house in Hollywood in County Down. 3 people are being questioned about the find.
The security forces launched a major operation in Hollywood, County Down, late yesterday. Acting on information they'd received, they searched a car and a nearby house. Around 40 guns, including pistols and machine guns, were uncovered. It's understood metalworking equipment, which could be used to manufacture weapons, was also found.
The investigation is ongoing, and we're very pleased with this extremely significant find.
The arms find is being linked to Loyalist paramilitaries and may cause some embarrassment to the government at a time when ministers are already involved in talks with Loyalist representatives. Nationalists say the discovery of the guns and arms-making equipment poses fundamental questions for the peace process. Mark Devonport, BBC News, Belfast.
The Labour Party leadership insists there'll be no change to its proposed replacement for Clause 4, despite yesterday's decision by the country's biggest union, Unison, to oppose the change. Supporters of Tony Blair say ordinary union members are overwhelmed.